Use salt in your wallet tonight. The best Jew ritual for fast money. I'm going to share something that changed my life in less than 18 hours. My name is Ezekiel Rothstein, and I've spent 33 years studying the hidden financial practices that built empires from ashes. The same practices my ancestors used to survive when survival seemed impossible. What I'm revealing tonight has nothing to do with positive thinking or vision boards, or any modern nonsense that keeps you broke. This is ancient technology, tested across centuries, proven in the darkest moments when having money meant staying alive. Before sunrise tomorrow, you're going to experience the first shift. Not next month, but tomorrow morning. The principle is devastatingly simple, but the execution requires precision. One wrong move and nothing happens. One missing ingredient and you might as well have done nothing. That's why you need to read every word until the end. Because the detail I reveal later about the exact moment you wake up determines whether this works or fails completely. I learned this from my uncle Mordecai when I was 19, standing in his cramped Queens apartment watching him prepare for something he called the covenant activation. He survived things I won't describe, lost everything twice, rebuilt from worse than zero 3 times. Within 6 years of arriving in this country with $14 and a rope-bound suitcase, he owned a jewelry business employing 27 people. He had no connections, no formal education past age 12, barely understood English. But he understood laws most people never discover, spiritual mechanics that govern how wealth moves from possibility into your hands. That Tuesday night, I watched him take coarse crystals from a locked wooden box. He pressed them against his chest, whispered something in a language I didn't recognize, and placed them inside his leather billfold. When I asked what he was doing, he looked at me with intensity that made me step back. He said this was why we endured when others didn't, why we built when others collapsed. The secret outsiders either mock or steal without understanding the mechanism. Then he taught me the exact sequence, the specific mineral, the precise words, the morning action that completes the circuit. He made me promise I would guard this knowledge, share it only with those desperate enough to follow instructions exactly. The first time I used this myself, I was 26, 3 days from eviction, staring at $31 in my account. I had moved to Denver to start a consulting practice that was failing spectacularly. My landlord had posted the notice. My credit cards were maxed. I had sold everything. I remembered what Uncle Mordecai taught me. That night I performed the ritual exactly as he demonstrated. I placed the crystals inside my billfold. I spoke the formula. I fell asleep with it beneath my head. The next morning my phone rang before I was fully awake. A woman I'd met once at a networking event 6 months earlier wanted to hire me for a project. She offered $1,200 up front. That afternoon, a college roommate I hadn't spoken to in 4 years appeared and repaid $350 I'd completely forgotten about. Within 24 hours, I went from $31 to over $1,500. That's when I understood my uncle wasn't teaching folklore. He was teaching me how to operate machinery most people don't know exists. In the ancient texts, crystalline minerals represent structure, permanence, and magnetic force. In temple ceremonies, these minerals were mandatory in every significant offering. Why? Because they possess unique properties that amplify intention and lock it into physical reality. When you place the correct mineral inside your billfold, you're creating a standing instruction to the invisible field that organizes reality. You're saying, wealth accumulates here, loss is prevented here, value concentrates here. In ancient Rome, soldiers received payment in these same crystals. The word we use for payment today comes directly from that practice. The Talmud states the world cannot function without these minerals. Why? Because they represent the binding agreement between the creative force and human beings, the guarantee that sustenance will flow. When you deploy them correctly, you're invoking that original contract. Now, before we continue, I need you to make a commitment. If you're ready to perform this tonight and witness money moving toward you by morning, type these exact words. The mineral activates my wealth tonight. This isn't casual participation. This is you creating a binding agreement with forces you don't yet understand. I know why you're here. You're exhausted from effort that produces nothing. You watch money enter and exit so fast you barely see it pass through. Rent, utilities, debt collectors, emergencies that aren't really emergencies but feel that way because you have no margin. You wake every morning with that weight in your chest, anxiety that never quite leaves. Every phone notification triggers dread. Another bill, another expense, another problem you can't afford to solve. You avoid checking your bank balance because you already know what's there. Everyone offers advice that sounds reasonable but doesn't work. Budget better, as if you can budget money that doesn't exist. Find better employment, while you're already working yourself into the ground. Think positively, as if thoughts pay rent. Here's what nobody admits. You're not struggling because you're incompetent. You're not broke because you're foolish. You're trapped because you were never taught how to align with the invisible laws that determine money flow. The Talmud says something that changes everything. Poverty isn't absence of money. Poverty is absence of flow. You might have money coming in, but if it doesn't flow correctly, if it doesn't circulate, if it doesn't accumulate, you remain locked in poverty consciousness. The mineral fixes the flow. The mineral creates the energetic condition where money doesn't just arrive. It remains, it builds, it multiplies. In Kabbalah, we teach that channels exist, invisible pathways through which wealth flows from infinite potential into physical manifestation. Most people's channels are obstructed with fear, doubt, inherited poverty consciousness, and energetic blocks they don't know they're carrying. The mineral acts as a purifier. It clears the channels. It removes obstructions. It opens the pathway so wealth can flow without resistance. When I first grasped this, I stopped blaming myself. I realized I wasn't defective or cursed. I just had blocked channels. The moment I cleared them, everything shifted. I've witnessed this work for hundreds of people. A divorced father in Phoenix who received an unexpected insurance settlement of $4,200 the next day. A retired teacher in Baltimore who discovered bonds worth $7,800 the morning after. A young entrepreneur in Seattle who landed a contract with an $18,000 advance within 48 hours. In every case, they followed the exact protocol. They didn't improvise. They didn't skip steps. They trusted the ancient formula and executed it with precision. Now I'm going to reveal the exact method. This practice originates from the Sephardic Jewish communities of the Iberian Peninsula, specifically from the hidden synagogues of Toledo and Cordoba. During the Inquisition, when practicing Jewish rituals could result in execution, when having wealth made you a target, these secret practices were survival technology. Understand this clearly. This isn't entertainment. When you activate this ritual, you're opening gates that have been sealed. You're initiating movement in the invisible realm that must manifest physically. You must perform it with focused intention, with respect, and with absolute precision. Why specifically this mineral? Because this crystalline structure possesses properties no other substance can replicate. The Zohar teaches that these minerals draw blessing downward from higher dimensions. These minerals are also mentioned in the covenant of preservation, an eternal agreement that cannot be dissolved. Scientifically, these minerals form perfect geometric lattices. They can hold and transmit electromagnetic frequencies. Spiritually, they can be programmed with specific intention and will continue broadcasting that instruction until they dissolve. This is why the mineral in your billfold works overnight. While you sleep, it continuously broadcasts your encoded instruction. Wealth flows here. Abundance accumulates here. What makes this different? 5 distinctions. First, it operates at the causal level. You're not chasing wealth. You're becoming magnetic to it. Second, it requires minimal effort. Third, results manifest quickly, usually within 12 to 24 hours. Fourth, it's completely private. Fifth, it costs almost nothing. Before you begin tonight's ritual, you must prepare correctly. Perform this within 1 hour before you sleep. Why nighttime? Because after sunset, the boundary between visible and invisible realms becomes permeable. Wash your hands. This is ritual purification. Take 3 slow breaths. Release any negativity from your day. You must approach this with clear energy and concentrated intention. Know exactly what you're requesting, not vague wishes. Be specific. I need $700 by Thursday. I want to receive $2,500 this week. Specific intention creates specific manifestation. Here's what you need. Element 1, sea salt. Not table salt, not Himalayan varieties. Sea salt specifically. Coarse grain if possible. Why? Because oceans are the source of all life. Water symbolizes abundance in Kabbalah. Salt from the sea carries the energetic signature of inexhaustible abundance. Table salt has been industrially processed, stripped of minerals, chemically bleached. It's dead salt. It won't function. You need salt that's alive. Get coarse sea salt from any supermarket. $3 buys a container that lasts months. You only need approximately 1/4 teaspoon. Element 2. Your billfold. Your billfold is already associated with money in your consciousness. Every time you open it, you're thinking about money. This creates energetic linkage. When you charge it with mineral and intention, you transform it into an active magnet. Ensure your billfold is clean. Remove old receipts, expired cards, trash. A chaotic billfold blocks wealth flow. Element 3. A crystallized intention. Write it on small paper. Example: I received $1,300 by February 5th for my rent. Read it 3 times. Memorize it. Feel it as already accomplished. Now the exact steps. Step 1. Purify your hands and environment. As water flows over your hands, imagine all doubt washing away. Say quietly, I cleanse myself to receive abundance. Find a quiet location. Silence your phone. Light a candle if available. Sit comfortably. Step 2. Hold the salt. Take a small pinch in your right hand. Bring it close to your heart center. Close your eyes. Say, just as salt preserves and protects, I ask that my wealth be preserved and protected. Just as salt was currency in ancient times, I ask that money flows to me now. Hold this for 30 seconds. Visualize golden light flowing from your heart into the salt. Step 3. Declare your intention. Speak your specific intention aloud 3 times. Example: I received $900 by Friday, January 31st. This money comes easily from expected or unexpected sources. I accept it with gratitude. By the 3rd time, feel it as absolute truth. Step 4. Place salt in your billfold. Open your billfold. If you wrote your intention on paper, place it in first. Then carefully place the salt onto the paper or into the bill compartment. As you do this, say, salt of earth, salt of sea, bring abundance and prosperity to me. As I sleep, let money flow. By morning light, let wealth show. Step 5. Seal with breath. Bring your billfold close to your mouth. Take a deep breath. Hold for 3 seconds. Breathe out slowly onto the billfold. You're breathing life force into the ritual. Your breath carries your soul's intention. This activates the salt. Perform this 3 times. Visualize your breath as golden light transforming your billfold into a wealth magnet. Step 6. Place billfold beneath your pillow. You must sleep with it under your pillow tonight. While you sleep, your conscious mind releases control. Your subconscious connects to the universal field where manifestation occurs. When the charged billfold rests under your pillow, it remains in your energy field all night. As you place it, say, while I sleep, wealth comes to me. While I rest, money flows to me. I wake tomorrow richer than I am today. Step 7. The morning activation. Critical. When you wake tomorrow morning, before checking your phone, before anything else, reach under your pillow and touch your billfold. The moment you touch it, say aloud, thank you for the money that is coming to me today. I receive it with gratitude and joy. Then open your billfold. Look at the salt. Touch it with your finger. This physical action completes the circuit between the spiritual realm and physical realm. Say, it is done. Money flows to me now. Then proceed normally. Carry the billfold throughout the day. The salt can remain for 7 days or until you receive the money, whichever occurs first. What to expect? Within 12 hours, you should notice signs. Someone mentions money unexpectedly. You find coins. Someone who owes you money contacts you. You notice repeating numbers. These are signs of manifestation beginning. Within 24 to 48 hours, tangible movement happens. Unexpected payments arrive. Someone repays old debt. You receive forgotten refunds. A client hires you. You discover hidden money. Within 7 days, the full amount should manifest. If you requested $800, you might receive $720 from 3 sources. The universe is creative in delivery. The key? Don't obsess. Don't check your balance constantly. Trust the process. Perform the ritual correctly, then release it. Critical warnings. Warning 1. Maintain privacy. Don't broadcast on social media. Don't tell skeptical people. Their doubt can interfere with your manifestation. Perform in private. Let results demonstrate themselves later. Warning 2. You must give when you receive. When the money arrives, give at least 10% away. Give to someone struggling. Tip generously. Donate. Help a neighbor. Giving keeps the channel open. If you receive and hoard, you block the flow. Warning 3. Replace the salt weekly. After 7 days, remove the old salt. Don't discard it disrespectfully. Either dissolve it in running water or bury it in earth. Then perform the ritual again with fresh salt. I'll be honest. There was a period when I knew this ritual but didn't use it consistently because I thought I should be above material concerns. But I was struggling. I felt ashamed. Then I remembered what Uncle Mordecai told me. Ezekiel, using spiritual wisdom for practical needs isn't lack of faith. It's honoring the tools you were given. So I started performing this ritual every week. Within 1 month, my income doubled. Within 3 months, I had savings for the first time. Within 6 months, every debt was cleared. I've taught this to over 4,000 people. In every case where someone performed it exactly as taught, with faith and gratitude, it worked without exception. This matters now more than ever. We're living in economic chaos, but these ancient practices work in any economy. They work during depressions. They work during persecutions. They work now because they're based on spiritual laws that don't change when markets crash or governments collapse.